Jamaica isn't only tropical beaches and sunsets like people tend to think. It's a place with real people struggling to survive. But Pastor Greg gives them something to hope for.
They don't have a whole lot, but they're still happy, and they still are looking for something to fill that emptiness in their life. And that's really the reason why we go, so that we can share Jesus with them and give them something to fill that hole in their life.
The kids in Jamaica flock to see Greg every summer.
You have about 250 kids packed into a really small building. There's like 20-some kids to a bench, but when they stand up and sing, they all sing and they all dance, and they have these great big smiles, and they just sing with like all of their voice, and it's just the most phenomenal thing.
The kids just love him, and they just are all over him, and they just listen and hang on every word that he says, and so, you know, it's really been a blessing to see that.
People who have worked with Pastor Greg tell us why he's so good at what he does.
I think Greg is just a big kid himself. So I think that the kids just love him because he brings so much of that childlikeness to everything that he does.
As he not only has an interest in having them learn more about Jesus, he takes a personal interest in their life.
But when does Pastor Greg get a moment to himself to talk to God?
I saw him sitting on the steps one day during, it must have been one of the Thursdays when we do the invitation, and you could, with his eyes shut, and you could just see that he was one-on-one with God. It was just, I'm going to cry already again. It was just so incredible because you don't see that. You don't get a chance to see that very often because they're so busy with everything and making sure that everything is organized and making sure everything's there.
Pastor Greg is just a fun-loving guy who uses his passion for God to help kids around the world. I'm Mackenzie Somerville for the County Line.